I'm going to go with the topic today is going to be, is it worth it to get a personal injury lawyer?
That's my first one.
Perfect.
Yeah. I did Andrew's answers too.
You did?
For the other one.
You wrote them out for him? Oh, good, good. Just for fun, do a little clap. I'm wearing a blue polo, and I'm sitting in your office, so it must be another episode of A Legal Newbie and a Lawyer.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is it worth it to get a personal injury lawyer? We're not biased at all.
Well, that's good. That's a very good question. And I think generally it is very important to try to at least consult with an attorney very soon after an accident for a variety of reasons. One of the primary reasons for a quick contact with an attorney is to help preserve evidence. There may be video evidence, there may be car data reporter evidence, there may be witnesses that can be located. Sometimes you even see people putting up signs trying to locate witnesses. Particularly if there's going to be what we call a disputed liability type of situation, it's important to contact one right away. There are a lot of other reasons that are important as well. For example, if you've been injured in an accident, an attorney can very often help sort of guide you through treatment, make sure that you follow through with treatment, make sure that you're getting the appropriate treatment, making sure that the providers are well known and well regarded and well suited to handle your particular situation. And that's very important because your accident will be evaluated in large part upon your medical records and the treatment that you've received. So that's also a service that an attorney provides. And if you wait a year or 2 years, it makes it much, much more difficult and has a tendency of reducing the value of your case.
Okay. The internet wants to know, is it worth it hiring a personal injury attorney? We already answered that. Let's talk specifics though. Do you need a lawyer after a car accident? We kind of covered that.
Yes. I would consult with an attorney or several attorneys very shortly after the accident, just for the reasons that I've explained.
Okay, all right. Okay. Do I need a lawyer for a minor car accident? See, this is a tough one.
Well, that's a very good question. There are accidents there that individuals are perfectly capable of resolving. If there's an accident without any personal injury, any damages to you personally, you can deal with the insurance company. They have many programs to calculate the value of your car. And if there aren't liability issues, who's at fault, you can do very well with that. Sometimes people have an accident, they go get checked out at the hospital, they feel that that there's no damages, no injuries to them. They can do that as well. So you're not precluded or required to have an attorney. It's just those accidents where there's personal injury, damages to you, liability type of questions, coverage type of questions. Is there insurance coverage that covers this? Who's at fault? How are we going to allocate fault between the parties? Those are all questions that an attorney can help you with early on.
Okay. I'm thinking a lot of people think I should lawyer up when I know I'm not at fault, right? Because the lawyer's probably going to help me get a bigger settlement. What about if you're at fault?
If you're at fault, you should do several things. First of all, you should immediately notify your insurance company of the accident so they can represent you and do their investigation as quickly as possible. Sometimes you will still need your own attorney in that type of situation. You're more than welcome to have one. There, you can always have private counsel. But there's some cases where you may have caused an accident that caused fairly significant damages. People could be hurt badly. And then you look at your insurance policy and find that you have the minimum insurance coverage of $25,000, and then you may need your own attorney. That's because a judgment could be entered against you in excess of the $25,000. And then what happens? the deficiency, the amount that's not paid by the $25,000 insurance policy, is a judgment against you personally. So it's helpful to have somebody there that can help guide you and look out for your interest. The insurance company is doing their best to look out for you in that situation because you're their insured, but it doesn't hurt to have somebody that you can rely on.
When to hire a personal injury lawyer seems to be a hot question here, because you could do so right away or you could wait a long time, and you sort of indicated that sooner is better than later.
Sooner is better.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Is there a point at which it's just too late?
No, it's never too late. You always have to have an idea as to how long you have to resolve or settle an accident. And if you just say, well, I'm going to put it off and call an attorney after I've fully completed treatment, and your treatment takes 3-4 years, then you very easily could be way too late. The statute of limitations could have expired on your claim. So that's another reason why it's helpful to talk to an attorney early on and find out, how long is my statute of limitations with regard to this matter? How long do I have to get the case settled or to commence a lawsuit, a proper lawsuit to recover my damages? So that's another reason to do it early, or at least consult with attorneys so you have that information.
Right. Okay. Now, I would imagine some people, when they ask this question, is it worth it to get a personal injury attorney? They're wondering, what's going to be the difference, like financially for me? Is that additional that you might get by getting a good attorney on your side? Does it usually outweigh the fees that you're going to inevitably need to pay that lawyer?
Sure. That's a very, very, very good question. And I always think back when clients come in and say that they were involved in an automobile accident and they are the ones that were hurt. I frequently say, well, have you heard from the at-fault driver's insurance adjuster or company? And they respond, well, yes. They reached out to me to see how I was doing. And I frequently say, did they recommend that you go out and hire an attorney? And the answer is almost uniformly, no. They never mentioned anything about getting an attorney. And the reason that they don't is that with an attorney, you're more likely to have a higher award or a higher recovery than you would without an attorney. Now, does that mean if an attorney charges a 1/3 contingency fee, does that mean that you're going to get that 1/3 back in an increased settlement? Well, hopefully you do. Hopefully you can even get better than that back. But it's important to have somebody there that can do the work, can guide you on through to maximize the amount of recovery, and somebody who has an idea as to how to evaluate your case to better guide you into what is an appropriate level of compensation for the injuries you've sustained.
Sure. Okay. And you mentioned some ways that you can guide clients to help make sure that the care that they're receiving is well and well received in terms of the judgment. But are there also other ways that you just care for people in this process? Maybe lighten the burden for them? Is the paperwork reduced? I mean, like what is the experience of going through this process with an attorney, and how's it different without?
One of the things that I hear frequently is after somebody decides to work with us and have us work with them and represent them in an automobile type of accident, is they're relieved at no longer having to deal with the insurance company. They never quite know if they should be talking to an insurance company. Do you even talk to your own insurance company? What do you tell them there? What information do you give them? So they're relieved that there's somebody there. The second thing that I find very often is that they're relieved to be able to call and say, what do I do now? This is what's going on with my doctor. You know, my doctor went out of business or moved. What do I do now? So there's somebody there day in and day out to answer their questions and to help guide them.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully that's enough information to convince you that very often it is a great idea to go ahead and reach out and get a personal injury attorney if you've had an accident, especially if you've had an injury in an accident. So if you are in that situation, or you know somebody that you care about that's in that type of situation, just would encourage you to reach out to Helen Law Group. They're going to take really good care of you.
Thank you.